today I am doing my second video on this channel. I posted my first video a few hours ago. Basically, I did a theory Game of Thrones video based around Clegane Bowl and Bastard Bowl, and it has got an amazing response. So I wanted to post another video, but I didn't want to do another theory video. This channel is going to be much more diverse than that. I plan to do theories, histories, breakdowns, book explanations, show diversions, stuff like that, and today I'm doing a breakdown video. So I thought I would do a breakdown of all of the trailers from Game of Thrones Season 6 and the content that has not appeared in the show yet. So clips that have appeared in the trailers but haven't been aired on the show yet. So I thought I would do this because then we kind of know what's coming up in the last 4 episodes, and I think there are 3 episodes left now I think about it. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to talk you through all of the screenshots that I have shotted from all of these trailers, tell you what I think is going on, tell you what I think this means as consequences for various storylines, and kind of speculate a little bit around what's happening and what this means for the show. Okay, so let's get started. Right, so first of all, we get this shot of Tormund with the wildlings in the snow. So he's there and he's kind of staring off into the distance, and we get this voiceover where he's saying, "I thought he was the man to lead us into the long night." I presume here he's not talking about Jon Snow, but talking about Mance Rayder. We know in episode 7 he gives this speech to the wildlings saying, you know, we have to fight for Jon, he died for us, if we're not willing to do the same for him, we're all cowards. He's rallying the wildlings behind Jon, because even though Jon did save them all at Hardhome, he was mainly responsible for saving them. They probably don't want to go and fight. They've just finished fighting. They've finally found safety after the wall, so they probably don't want to fight, but Tormund's saying we have to fight for him. And, the wildlings need to stand behind him and march with him to go against Ramsay. So I thought that's a really cool little clip to put in of Tormund kind of rallying the wildlings behind Jon and saying, look, we owe him our lives. Okay, then we get a shot of Sansa. There are a couple of shots of Sansa through the trailers I found. So we get a shot of Sansa in her direwolf clothing. She's got a very steely look in her eyes. I presume this is from the next episode. She's sat on her horse with some people around her. I presume this is when she and Jon travel the north, going to minor houses looking for their allegiance. Because they need to rally troops for the north, they're going smaller houses because most of the large houses, House Umber and House Karstark, have declared for the Boltons. They've already declared for the Boltons, so all that's left are the smaller houses and House Manderley. I do wonder if they're going to go to House Manderley because it makes sense to. They're one of the biggest houses and have always been fiercely loyal to the Starks and have a lot of resources. House Manderley is built next to White Harbour, which is the biggest port in the north, so I would think they would go to House Manderley, but again, I don't know. Maybe they will just go and target the smaller northern houses. Then there's another screenshot of Sansa looking very steely and tough, and there's this voiceover again where she's saying about Ramsay, and we get an image of Ramsay with a knife. We know now that this is after he killed Osha. We get her saying, "I've had so much taken from me, I always think about things being taken from me," and it's kind of really affirming this image that Sansa is going to be a major player, that she is getting tougher and tougher, and that she's just really not taking any crap anymore. Like, they're really ramping her up, which I love, because Sansa has been through so much shit. She deserves to have some victories in her future. And then there's the Frey toast. Sansa still has her voiceover saying, "All I think about is what was taken from me," and the Freys are there. Now, this could be a flashback to the Red Wedding, because in the last episode, Bran was having all of his visions that the Three-Eyed Raven passed to him before he died, and he was having visions of the Red Wedding, seeing Robb and Catelyn die. So this could just be the Freys toasting after the Red Wedding that they'd taken down the Stark family. However, it could also be at the conclusion of River Run. River Run is this huge plot that's coming up in the next episode, was in book 4, and it is such a great plot. I am so glad they're not neglecting it, and the idea is that Bryden has taken back River Run and has taken back that castle under the Tully name, and the Lannisters have to go and stop him along with the Freys. So this could be a flashback. That's probably what it is, because there are Lannister soldiers at the Twins, and it looks like Walda Frey, Lady Frey, is in the corner, looks like she's off to one side and she's not alive in this show anymore. So I think that's what it is. But it could also be, when he's toasting, it could be that they've managed to take back River Run. In the books, the Freys and Lannisters do successfully take back River Run, but actually Bryden escapes, which is awesome. He basically manages to swim under the battlements and escape and is now a fugitive. But yeah, could be either. Probably a flashback though. Okay, then we have two shots of Littlefinger, Peter Baelish. I don't think these have come up yet. If they have, my bad. And he's just stood in the snow, nothing really going on. It could be that just showing us he's going to show up again, showing us he's going to be more in the confrontations again. Honestly, I'm so surprised at how little Littlefinger has been in this season. He is a major player. You know, you find out last season he started it all. He had Lysa Arryn poison Jon Arryn. You find out he had her right to Catelyn, that the Lannisters were responsible. He is this major player. He wants to rule everything. There's this awesome quote that says he would burn down the world just so he could rule the Ashes. So Littlefinger's not to be fucked with. He's a master manipulator. I mean, look at episode 5. He has 5 minutes with Sansa and she's already lying to Jon on his behalf. He is a hugely good manipulator, so I think we're definitely going to see more of him, and it wouldn't surprise me if he has House Arryn declaring for Sansa just to try and get back in with her. Then we see Davos. We see Davos in front of a House Stark banner. This isn't very significant because we already know he's fighting for them, but it's just a really cool shot showing Davos is now with the Stark family. He's standing behind them. You know, that couldn't be made clearer. He's going to fight for them. And that is just awesome that Davos is now on Team Stark, because you want to have that guy on your team. Like, his loyalty is crazy. And since Stannis, R.I.P., is dead, he has to find someone else to fight for, and he's going for Jon Snow. So that's just a really cool shot showing who he's now aligned with. Okay, and then we have some overlooks of Bastard Bowl. I'm going to talk about Bastard Bowl now. However, my last video was theories on Clegane Bowl and Bastard Bowl, so if you want to hear more about it, go and watch that. I will link it below. So there's a ton of different shots of Bastard Bowl. We get shots of their shields, we get shots of the overlook of Bastard Bowl. This is what it's presumed to be. Some flayed men burning, possibly Ramsay trying to intimidate Jon Snow before the battle. Could be afterwards, could be a flashback of his battle against Stannis. Then we get a ton of different scenes. We get them riding horses, we get the wildlings standing against them, we get Tormund wielding this huge sword. Basically, Bastard Bowl is happening. It's confirmed at this point that the Boltons and the Starks are meeting head on, and oh my god, who's gonna win? Please, I want Jon Stark. Jon Stark? Jon Stark. That sounds good. I want Jon Snow and Sansa to win because Ramsay just needs to be killed already. But yeah, the point is that Bastard Bowl is definitely happening. It's been confirmed, and there's some really interesting things because in this shot here, you can see there's a ton of flags behind them, suggesting house banners, sorry, suggesting that they did manage to rally people to their cause, and yet Tommen and the wildlings at the front still look really intimidated. I don't blame them. I can't imagine that the Starks will magically conjure 5,000 troops. They only have 2,000 at the moment. I'm betting they'll be fighting at a bit of a disadvantage. They're not a kind of cohesive army of soldiers anyway, so that they are going to be intimidating. You know, Ramsay has shown, fuckwit that he is a good kind of, he knows how to lead an army. You know, he crushed Stannis' forces, he killed his father. Yes, he's a mad dog, and probably by the end he'll be brought down by his own actions, but he can lead, you know, he can fight, and he, in this shot here, is at the head of the army, showing that he's not taking a back seat, he is fighting with the army. So yeah. Okay, then we have another shot of Riverrun. This is Jaime at Riverrun, and we know Jaime's going to be in Riverrun because the next trailer for episode 7 has shown us he's going to be in Riverrun. You know, Cersei said, go and lead the Lannister army, stand at the front of the Lannisters, where you were always meant to be. So he was dismissed from the Kingsguard, he's now the head of the Lannister army, and he is going to negotiate a peace with Bride and Tully rather than send them to war. Riverrun is not going to be a good place to siege. They probably have a lot of food, a lot of crops, because the area around Riverrun is very fertile. You know, they're not going to have to leave anytime soon, so it's better to bring it to a diplomatic resolution than attempt to take down the castle. So Jaime's going to attempt to do this, and if they follow the books, he will manage to do this, but Bryden will get free. So yeah, it's really cool to see him part of the Riverrun gang, and I was really pissed off when they sent Jaime to Dorne because I love this Riverrun plot. It's really cool. It shows Jaime not just fighting, it shows him taking a different route, being the diplomat, using his brain rather than his fighting skills, which he doesn't really have anymore, so I'm really pleased they're doing this. Okay, then we see Davos again in front of the House Mormont banner. This is the yellow background with the bear on it. House Mormont is from Bear Island. We know a lot about them. There was Jorah Mormont, who is now with Daenerys Targaryen, or curing himself of grayscale. He's around. somewhere. And then we have the Lord Commander Mormont, and then we have the Lady Mormont who died at the Red Wedding with Robb. So Davos is appealing to House Mormont, and he is saying, look, the real fight is between the living and the dead are coming. Probably trying to convince them to stand with Jon, because he thinks Jon is the only person who can defeat the Wild Walkers. Wild Walkers? Who can defeat the White Walkers. God damn it. Anyway, so yeah, he's trying to convince them, and House Mormont really should rally to Jon's side, because Sansa is a legitimate Stark, and House Mormont have always been loyal to the Starks. If you remember the letter that was sent to Stannis in season 5, when Stannis asked House Mormont to declare for him, they said there is only one king in the north, and his name is Stark. They are fiercely loyal to House Stark, just like House Umber apparently were, probably still are. And, yeah, they should declare, but Davos is there to convince them to kind of stand with Jon. Okay, then we have Yara. So as we know, Euron has taken over the Iron Islands, and Yara and Theon had to flee knowing their deaths were imminent. And now they are presumably in one of the free cities, probably I don't know, Volantis, Essos, somewhere like that. Or they could still be in Westeros. They could be in Lannisport. They could be kind of anywhere in the north. You know, they didn't have to go that far. But they took the best part of the Iron Islands fleet. And you just see Yara making out with this lady. She wants some chill time. Don't blame her. She's been through a lot. And you just see her kissing this woman. And basically that sees that, like, you know, Yara, you know, she likes her ladies. Maybe she only likes ladies. Okay, and then we have Sansa again. So this is the first shot of Sansa in the trailer where she's not all steely-eyed and tough. She's looking very vulnerable. She looks kind of scared. And I noticed her hair is styled in a very similar fashion to season 1 when she first met Cersei, with the plaits kind of coming around the back. So it's kind of showing her going back to her northern roots again with her hairstyles, because for a while she followed the style of the south, then she started having her hair like Marjorie's. Now she's getting back to her roots again. But she looks very sad. She looks kind of shocked and vulnerable. So what has happened to cause her to lose her kind of steely mask of frozenness? Okay, and then we have Brienne and Pod in Riverrun. So we know that Sansa sent Brienne to Riverrun to get the Blackfish and to get the Tully forces to fight for Jon and Sansa, because they kind of need all the men they can get. And the Tullys are sworn bannermen to the Starks. Bryden is Sansa's great uncle. So Brienne is in Riverrun for that purpose, and she brought Pod with her. So they're in Riverrun, and this begs the question, is Jaime going to run into Brienne? They're both in Riverrun at the same time. There must be some kind of meet-up, and this is going to cause real conflict for Jaime. Because if you remember, Jaime sent Brienne away, saying, go and find Sansa Stark, protect her, make sure she's safe. And yet Sansa is now amassing troops in the north, and Jaime has shown that he is still very much in love with Cersei, so that puts him in huge conflict. Does he tell Cersei, look, Sansa's gearing up in the north, I know this, I saw Brienne, or does he keep it a secret from Cersei, since Jaime has shown a desire to protect Sansa? And also, in the books, at the moment, Jaime is completely disillusioned with Cersei. When Tyrion escaped, he said to him, look, Cersei's been sleeping around behind your back, she's like with Lancel, she's like with Moonboy, she's like with the Kettleback brothers. She's no good, she doesn't love you the way you love her. So Jaime completely just goes to Riverrun, and he just is no longer in love with Cersei. She sends him a letter asking him to represent her at her trial by combat, and he burns it. They're keeping up the romance plot in the show for some reason, I don't know why, but this could be the moment where the Cersei Jaime love starts to degrade because of his conflict in whether he should tell her or not. Okay, and then we have this awesome Cersei scene. Cersei's been a bit of a back player this season. She's been kind of not really doing much because she hasn't been able to, and she was very defeated at the end of last season. But now, the Faith Militant are there with Lancel, who is just so irritating. Let's be real. He's annoying. And he's saying, look, get your man to stand aside or there will be violence. And Cersei says, I choose violence, while backed by Sir Robert Strong. At the end of trailer 2, we get this awesome shot of the Mountain strangling one of the Faith Militant with some chains, and he's lying on the floor covered in blood. You know, he's got the black robes on of the Faith Militant. There are people who are barefoot stood in the background who are the Faith, and it shows that, you know, Cersei isn't going to go down without a fight. You know, she's kind of taking more charge, and this is shown even more by the next set of sequences with Cersei and Tommen. So in the next sequence, Cersei has just said, I choose violence, so Robert Strong has kind of paved the way, and then Tommen is walking forward with his new Kingsguard. His new Kingsguard, they wear the 7-pointed star on their chest, they're made up of Faith militant, presumably, as Tommen is now standing with the Faith, because he's a pussy. My god. If only Tywin was still around. Like, anyway. So basically, Tommen is now with this new Kingsguard, and Cersei is walking towards him with Sir Robert Strong at her back, and one of the Faith militant, kind of, it looks like he's running after them, trying to stop them. This suggests Cersei is going to confront her son, you know, she's going to kind of, since he kind of gave into this religious fanatic system, she's going to stand up to him and say, you know, what the fuck are you doing? What's going on? And I think that's going to be a really cool scene to watch. Will Tommen listen to his mum? He's shown a very big desire to please his mother, or is he going to crumble to the fact that he is now in line with the Faith? Okay, and then we have Pod being kidnapped at Riverrun. There's a number of people who this could be. You just see his neck getting jerked back. Some people have said that when they slowed it down it looked like Bronn. I also slowed it down and you see a flash of black hair that kind of looks like Bronn, but it could be some other candidates. Okay, so, could be Bronn. Definitely could be Bronn, who sees Pod, thinks, what the fuck are you doing in here? The last time you left, you know, you were Tyrion's squire, you went with Brienne, you know, people are not happy with you, get out of here, no one needs to see you. Could be the Hound. I did a theory on Clegane Bowl, if you haven't seen it. Again, this is in the same video as Bastard Boss, so I will link it below so you can see that. Where the Hound may come back to life. He could be the one grabbing Pod, along with the Brotherhood Without Banners. You know, we might see Lady Stoneheart, please. And Pod was actually in the books. Pod was captured by the Brotherhood Without Banners and by Lady Stoneheart because, you know, they saw him, the last time they saw him, he was in line with the Lannisters, and they just try and kill anybody who was a Lannister. So it could be either of those. Hopefully it's Bronn, we don't want Pod to die. Okay, and then finally, the last trailer they released just ends with a shot of this blood on the wall of what looks like Meereen. Not the most interesting shot, but I think it was kind of done to wrap up this whole idea of Daenerys being surrounded by blood and her dragons, blood and fire, which is the words of House Targaryen. So, yeah. Okay, so that's everything from this kind of screenshot fest that I went on. I basically, took me forever to kind of manage to stop and start everything, but hopefully you've enjoyed this video, got some ideas of what's going to happen for the rest of the season, and have some of your own ideas. If you have any ideas of what's going to happen, maybe you interpreted the screenshots differently to me, comment it below. I would love to hear, and I will definitely get back to you. And yeah, my next video will be another theory video probably. Might do a Bran Stark or a Daenerys Targaryen theory video. It depends. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope that you got some ideas again. And as always, if you have any questions, comment below. And also give it a like if you did like it. And if you do enjoy this channel, subscribe. You don't have to, but it would be nice. And yeah, I'll see you soon, guys. So yeah, next episode's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see Riverrun. I'm so excited. Okay, see you soon, guys. Bye.